I'm Heather, mom of 4, soon to be 5, and welcome to my channel, a place where I share practical ways to help you simplify motherhood so that you can feel less overwhelmed, less alone, and more confident in your mothering role. Today I'm going to be talking about something that I never thought in a million years I'd be talking about, but here we are, pregnancy number 5, and I have parosmia. Pregnant with parosmia. Something that I thought I'd never have to deal with, something I didn't even know that existed and up until recently. And it's something that has made pregnancy even more challenging than it normally is. So, parosmia is simply just a distortion of your tastes and your smells. So for me, I can't really taste anything right now. And a lot of my normal foods have this weird, funky, rancid taste. So this can happen from a number of things, from a traumatic brain injury. It can happen from stress. It can happen after a virus. For me, it happened 3 months post-COVID. So today I want to share a few practical ways that might help you if you're also suffering from parosmia, especially if you're pregnant. I want to share a few practical ways that might help you cope, might help you get through this tough time, because I know how lonely it can feel, I know how isolating it can feel, and I know how hard it can be. So let's just dive right in, and I'm going to share with you some things that have helped me so far, and hopefully that they can help you. Parosmia is something that I would not wish on my biggest enemy, let alone a pregnant woman. Because when you're pregnant, food, at least for me, food kind of runs your life, especially in the first trimester when you're feeling nauseous, you don't have that much energy, and you have a lot of food aversions. Add in parosmia, and well, that makes things a lot trickier. I was a little lucky, and I got mine during the second trimester, but it's still really frustrating because a lot of the foods that smell bad and taste bad are high protein and nutrient dense foods. So I've been having kind of a tricky time trying to fit in extra nutrients into my diet without compromising this pregnancy. First and foremost, the thing that you should keep in mind is just try to stay positive. I know it's so hard, easier said than done, but from what I've read and what I've researched so far about what scientists and doctors know, which isn't a ton, mind you, there's not a ton of research on this, but from what I've read is that this can be amplified by stress. So when you have high levels of cortisol in your system and you're stressed out all the time, it can lead to inflammation in your body, which can make it worse. So try to look for ways that you can remove the stress in your life. What works for me is just simplifying everything. So I homeschool my kids. We have a cleaning schedule in place. We have a very set routine, so I always know what to expect. So it's not high stressful. And I've also recently have turned to things that bring me joy, like baking, which is also really great because, you know, I can try out new foods and see what sounds good or what tastes good, and then I can kind of add those to my diet as well. The biggest thing for me trying to reduce my stress is just trying to remain grateful. Grateful for everything else that I have going on in my life. I realize that, yes, this is annoying and this is not something that I ever thought I'd be experiencing. I realize that this is just a small blip in my life, and in 5 years from now I can look back and remember, oh yeah, that was kind of hard, but I got through it. So turning to gratitude has really helped me, and just being grateful and being present in the moment and not filling my head with worry or stress or anxiety. And if this helps you, print off some affirmations, look at affirmations, look at Pinterest and words of encouragement, because sometimes in our darkest days, we just need to hear those words of encouragement just to get us through. All right, the second thing that has really helped me and might help you is to reduce big stressors in your life. Now, I just talked about stress and how it can raise your cortisol and increase inflammation. And the biggest way to do this is to remove those stressors in your life. So if there's something in your life that's causing you stress right now, I know it's easier said than done. You need to try to get rid of it, or you need to try to change it in a way that's not going to make it stressful for you. So, maybe this isn't your first kid and you have lots of kids or other children and different activities, and it's stressing you out because of your constant schedule. Well, maybe think about your mental health for a second and maybe figure out a way that you can minimize the stress in order to serve you better. Also do this by, adding more joy in your life, doing things that you love, maybe picking up a new hobby. Like I said, I like to bake. I've been reading more. I've been, doing things that I normally wouldn't make time for doing, but it's really helping me not feel worried and not feel anxious, and it's really helping my stress levels go down. So that might help you too. The thing that I love to do is sip on my pregnancy tea. This is a blend of herbs. This is not medical advice, so don't take it from me. Ask your doctor or your midwife before you start drinking any kind of herbal tea. But this has tons of nutrients in it, from nettles, oat straw, red raspberry leaf, and alfalfa. So I drink this every day. It really doesn't taste like much. Yeah, it's not bad. It doesn't have that putrid taste like a lot of things that I eat. So I like to drink this because it's very nutrient dense. It adds a lot of extra nutrients to my diet that I might not be getting from the foods that I normally eat. And it's something that I can drink, and I know that I'm doing good for my body and for my baby. Another thing that you can do to add extra nutrients to your diet is by taking electrolytes. I take these every day. They're from Seeking Health. They are optimal electrolytes, so they're perfectly balanced. Again, this is not medical advice. This is just something that I do that helps me feel better. I also like taking mineral baths with some Dead sea salt, which is really nourishing, because if you're having a hard time getting nutrients down, you can just add some of these salts to your bath and your skin will absorb it. So that's another way to help bring down your stress levels, by just soaking in the bath, letting all of those minerals into your body, and it's going to do your body and your baby some good. So the biggest thing that you can do for yourself mentally is to take it one day at a time. Don't try to think ahead. Don't try to think, oh my gosh, I could be doing this for the next 5 months or the next year, because, a lot of people go through this for a long time. But don't think about that, because that's going to raise your stress. It's going to raise your anxiety. It's going to put you in a really crappy place, which is not serving you. Anxiety and stress is not serving you, and it's not serving your baby. So take it one step at a time, one day at a time, one moment at a time. I have found, since I've reduced my stressors in life, a lot of things are starting to taste a little bit better. They still have that funky, rancid taste, but it's worth trying, and it just makes you feel better. Eating doesn't do you any good, okay? So it doesn't change anything. It just makes you feel crappy, and like I said, it doesn't change anything. So just be present in the now. Think about how you can serve your body and yourself now. What can you do for yourself in this moment, during this day, to make it better for you? Another big thing that you can do that's really, really been helpful for me is to make a master list of all of the foods that you can eat, or all of the foods that are safe. Now, they might taste good one day and they might taste a little off the next day, but I want you to put that on a list. Just make a huge list of everything that has been enjoyable to eat or hasn't been that bad to eat. Put it in a list, and then you can start to think of ways how you can mix and match foods, how you can add them to different recipes, because let's face it, if you're stuck eating just a few different things, it can get really boring, it can be really depressing, and then it can put you in that anxious hamster wheel, so to speak. So making a list of your master foods and then kind of visualizing what you can eat, you can really start to add more diversity to your diet by combining those foods and making meals from that. Like I mentioned before, I have found, and I'm going to leave some links below that you can watch. I'm not a medical professional. I'm just kind of like a curious person. I'm a fixer. I like to fix things. I like to make things all better. So when this started happening to me, I really dug in and I really started to research this, and I found that when this happens, inflammation in your body can make it worse. So the best thing you can do right now is try to remove inflammation. So there's several ways that you can do that, but the biggest thing is your diet. And I know what you're thinking, it's going to be really hard to remove inflammation from your diet if all of the foods that sound good are inflammatory. If you're not in a high stress environment all the time and your cortisol levels aren't high, you might start to experience your taste changing a little bit. So it might be easier for you to reduce the inflammatory foods in your diet. Last but certainly not least is just to stay, like I said before, stay positive, but stay hopeful. Like, it's very, very, very rare that you'll have this forever or that it's going to impact you long term. So really try to focus on the positives, try to focus on your baby, try to focus on all of the wonderful things coming ahead in your life regarding motherhood, and just try to immerse yourself in these positive, happy thoughts, because negativity, negative thoughts, anxious thoughts aren't serving you right now. Keep in mind, this might be a very small blip in your life. So worrying about it, stressing about it, and having it consume every single second of your day won't serve you in the best way. I realize this might not be what you came here to watch, because I haven't figured out the best things that have helped get my senses back or my taste back. I'm working on it. I'm really trying to find answers and to try anything out there. And I will keep my progress. I will share my progress as it progresses here. But if you have any questions about this condition during pregnancy or otherwise, leave them in the comments below, because I would love to have this discussion with you. If you have found anything that's been helpful that you can share with others, please do. Right, well, that's all I have for today. If you found any of these tips helpful, even if it was just a small little encouragement for you, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel so that you can receive more updates when I share updates on my journey. And also, if I find out any more information, I plan to share it right here on my channel. So like I said before, leave me a comment below if you've had this experience, what has helped you, your biggest takeaway from today, or anything that you would like to share here. So thanks again for tuning in, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.